Hey, good to see you guys again. So here's the situation. This video is going to be called the BlackSmith and the Luthier. I'll tell you why. Just give me a second. So basically what's the situation is I was going to solder my pickups from my last video. If you saw the custom guitar build, I was going to set up that whole guitar, solder it, get it all good to go. And I talked to a friend of mine who is a luthier, guitar tech type person, and I said, hey, how much would it cost me to just have a professional do this right the first time? That way I don't have to, deal with it. And he kind of told me like, oh, look, here's a diagram of what you need to do to set up your passive EMGs onto this, these pots and this switch. And I was like, all right, well, it doesn't seem too bad. And then I really looked at it and I was like, I'm going to fuck this up. So how much would it cost to have a professional do it? He said about 200 something bucks, maybe 220. I said, ooh, yeah, well, that's a little out of the budget. The whole point of this was to get a sick guitar for as little money as possible. So then he said, well, you know what, Jake, I know you're a blacksmith and I'm a guitar tech. So if you would be down, make me one of your knives, because I don't have any good knives in my apartment. Make me one of your nice knives, and I'll solder it for you. Take care of it. And I was like, well, that actually seems like a pretty fair deal. I already like making knives, and you already like fixing guitars. So if I could do something that benefits you, you could do something that benefits me. We're just going to do a nice sharing of trades, even playing field. And you know what? I think that's how economies used to work. But either way, what we're going to do is we're going to make him a knife today. I wanted to stock remove it because it is still extremely hot in California. But bar stock is not cheap. The only bar stocks that are available right now are Damasteel at the place that I get my bar stock from. And Damasteel, as many of you know, is expensive. Oh my God, is it expensive. So we're just going to make our own because, again, we'd like to do things cheap around here. So let's go ahead and get to the drawing board. I'll show you what's going on. So here is our nickel heavy steel, our 15 and 20 steel. We're going to go ahead and forge weld this up to, well, usually what I would use is 1084. But this is the only piece of 1084 that I have. Whoa, it's a cool hawk. I don't think this is going to stretch out to a very long piece of steel. I'm sure I could do it, and it would be even better if I had a press to do it on. Oh my God, I would love to use a press. But yeah, I just don't feel confident enough in my forging abilities to do this by hand and hammer this out to a 0.3 millimeter piece of bar stock that I could then grind down into a usable sanmai. So here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to take a nice thick piece of 5160 OCS spring steel. Oh, it's not a hawk, it's a vulture. If you don't know what OCS means, it means old Chevy springs. So this is an old Chevy spring, and we're going to go ahead and cut a piece about that size onto there, and then use this as our core steel, and then forge that together into a nice thin bar stock. And then we'll have a much thicker piece of core steel, which means it'll look nicer when we go to the etch and get it all set up for that. So let's go ahead and cut this up, and we're going to get started. this is where we're at. So I have the knife mostly done here. So we're just grinding in our bevels, getting our flats set, and this is a pretty nice looking chef knife, if I don't say so myself. Although, there's something I don't like right there. So there, it looks like we have a couple of little delaminations happening between the 15 and 20 and 5160. So we're gonna see if those grind out, and if they don't, I'm going to be very upset, because then we got to start all over again. That's gonna be a nightmare. So let's go ahead and see if we grind these out. All right, so I went ahead and went up in the grits all the way up to a Trizec 600 belt, and I went for a test etch. And guys, look at this. This is something to be proud of. I love this knife so much. And then I have the other side as well, where we have that nice line. You can really see the separation here. This is a single hollow grind, so hollow ground on this end and flat on this end, just so it's extra razor sharp. It's still very heavy, but I think this is gonna be an excellent knife for just general purpose kitchen work. So let's go ahead and hand sand this, then we'll get a handle on it and take it to trade for my guitar. Can't wait. All right, so here we are. We have our knife sanded. We're gonna polish it up and then throw it into a coffee etch. Now, I've already tried to do an etch on this that I didn't film, and that's completely my fault. But this time we're gonna see if polishing it up to a 1200 grit will get it nice and shiny, and then throw it in there and see what we get. Let's go ahead and polish it up. Now we have our knife polished to what I would say is a pretty good mirror finish. We're gonna go ahead and put this into our coffee solution. So all this is a nice bath for that darkness to really etch into the steel. And all it is Folger's Classic Roast. Has to be this one. I don't know why it has to be this one, but it has to be this one. It's the cheapest, most high acidity coffee that you can get, instant coffee, and for some reason that just works out the best. So let's go ahead and add a little bit more, just for safekeeping. Mix her up a little bit, and we're gonna let that sit for a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, see how we look then. This is where we're at out of the etch. We have a nice reflective finish, and you could really see the darks popping here. We do have a little bit of carbon buildup for there on our 15 and 20 layer, but our other side is looking, ooh, it looks very shark-like to me, like very sharky. Now, after we have etched, the first thing that I like to do is take some of this. Now this is homemade knife care wax. What this is it's effectively just mineral oil and beeswax combined in a 50-50 mixture. And every knife that I sell comes with one of these. So we're gonna take a little bit of this mineral oil wax mixture and put it over our blade. Now we're just gonna rub it all over here. Boom, just like that. And what this is gonna do, you can kind of see already, this area has been waxed and this area has not. So when we put it on there, it really, really makes those colors pop and just really solidify. Now what we're gonna do as well is start to put this in a way where nothing is gonna touch it. Oh, you could really see it on this side. Here, I'll show you guys. So you see that nice deep black here? We're gonna rub this all over. Boom, let's go. You really see that color starting to pop. So we're gonna leave this so nothing will touch the faces at all. We wanna let it like kind of get in there and set overnight for at least a day. That way these colors and the darkness is locked in there. Otherwise, at this point in time, you can just wipe it off and then your Damascus etching will just be gone. And you're like, what the hell, dude? I thought I bought a Damascus knife. You did, and technically it will still be pattern welded layered steel. It's just you won't be able to see that, and most people want to see that. So we're gonna go ahead and not touch this for at least a day, and then we're gonna get the handle all said and done. Now for the handle, I have something nice in mind. What we're gonna do, now let's go ahead and set this down. Make sure we get all the nice, look at that, just very nice and reflective. I'm gonna set this up, I guess, in this nice little vase. Boom, like that, and lean it up against something. Boom, there. All right, that's hanging out. Now, for the wood, I have this beautiful curly maple wood that my wife had got me a block of earlier. And this stuff, here, you put some wax on it, is just so pretty. So when you wax your handle, your wood handles with this knife wax, it really makes those colors pop as well. You can see it even off that little bit. These colors just start to pop so vibrantly. So we're gonna shape this down. I already drilled a hole into it. I like to put a 1/2-inch hole right there. And then we're gonna put this brass cap right on top. So it's gonna sit something like that and neck it down into a nice, comfortable handle. We're gonna go ahead and get to that right now. Let's go. Okay, so we are making our handle now. We're using this beautiful curly maple wood. I like to just bore a hole out right there, but we still have it looking very blocky. So we're gonna go ahead and break these edges, get it nice and round, a little bit more shaped so that way it's comfortable to hang on to. But considering the size and weight of the knife that we're going to be making, I think this nice long handle will be very, very good for the work that it's going to be doing. So let's go ahead and break these edges and round it off and get to sanding, and let's see how this comes out. That handle is looking very good. What we're gonna do next, where did I put that thing? We're gonna put our brass cap on and get this glue up started, and I'll show you how I'm gonna fit and finish the brass cap, because that is still just a chunk of brass, but we're gonna do something clever today. Just stick around. We're gonna take this cavity, completely flood it with this here epoxy, and then just put it right in there like that. Then we're just gonna saw these off and then file them off and be done with it, get to sharpening, and have a completed knife to go and get my custom guitar. So instead of learning how to solder, I decided to do what amounted to be about 15 to 16 hours of work on a blade, but it looks sweet. let's get this thing glued up. I'm gonna get some gloves on and we'll get to work. Now for our final reveal, and then we're going to put the edge on this and do some test cuttings. But our handle is done, our fit up is done, everything is just about there. The last thing we got to do is just wax up this handle, maybe a little final sanding. Let's go ahead and peek at how we're looking. Oh, baby. Boom. All right, so definitely needs a little bit of polishing, but I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, I would love to cook with this. I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. Go cut some onions for some test cuts, because this is looking pretty good. Yeah, nice and straight. The alignment with your finger is right there. Beautifully done. Let's get it sharp and then go get my guitar. Here we are, and I am at the repair shop going to give him the knife. Now, because of certain reasons, we aren't going to be able to, record any of that stuff inside of the shop or get his reaction to the knife or do any of that stuff. But just before we go in there, I wanted to show how I like to deliver a package when it comes to, custom orders and knife making and all that stuff. So let's take a look at this knife real quick. Now, all of my knives always come in a nice wood box. Boom, open it up. This one is particularly tight, and you could see it comes with a little note, a sharpened blade, and a little bit of wax. This is the wax that we use is like a blade wax and a handle wax. Really brings out the chatoyance, and it will take care of your knife for the long run. High carbon steel is a little bit more temperamental, so you have to take care of it a lot different than you do a stainless steel knife. We actually had to cut this box a little bit to make room for the handle because this knife is so much larger than the usual 7-inch Santokus that I make. So I'm gonna go in there and give him the knife, and then we'll go ahead and come back and take a look at that guitar. Stay tuned. All right, so now we have successfully traded our knife for all of that solder work and setup that it was going to take at the Guitar Tech. And guys, I will tell you, I am extremely happy with how this came out. Now, when he set it up, he actually set it up for drop C, which is what I was going to make this guitar live in. And let's go ahead and take a look at it now. Oh, yeah. So now we have our custom flying V, our custom King V ready to go. I went ahead and picked up a strap for it as well. And I think I'm going to plug it in and do a little bit of playing on it. Just see how it goes. taking a look at our beautiful paint job on this. This thing just looks so cool. And my wife is actually here, and I would like to give her some praise. Come on, baby, come say hi. So she is just such an incredibly talented artist that one of my friends actually saw that paint job and thought, I think I want one of those too. So she's going to go ahead and do some custom engraving, not painting. This is all engraved. So what she's going to do is engrave it with the Dremel and get that going. I think this is a biblically accurate angel. Everyone likes to call them seraphims, but I think the angel lore goes a little deeper than that. But either way, we're very, very excited to get this done. And this may very well turn into like a nice little side hustle that we can both work on and, you know, do something that we're both passionate about, me being music and guitar work and her being, you know, visual arts. And that would be cool. So if anybody does want a custom engraved guitar or paint job done on your guitar, feel free, DM me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Let's see if we can strike up a deal, and yeah, we'll definitely love to engrave or paint your guitars for you. But that being said, we're going to take the audio off of the amp and switch it over to an amp sim, because the audio just does not come through very clear on videos when you're just miking up an amp with a little lav mic. So let's get up on GarageBand and see what we could do. Now, we are still getting a little bit of that feedback, but let's just play it a little bit and see how it goes. See if it does the wobble. So it's not a very wobbly tremolo, so that's you know, to be expected a little bit. All right, that's enough of that. So I'm really pleased with how this is coming out. I feel like, there it goes again. The intonation on this thing is really good. Let's go ahead and do a tune check. All right, so after putting it through a little bit of playing, don't forget these are brand spanking new strings, so I don't expect it to be in perfect tune, but I expect it to be pretty dang close. You can't see that, but it's just a couple cents out of C. Yeah, I'm really excited to play this. I think I'll do my next cover song with this guitar, not the Les Paul that we're borrowing from Carrington. But yeah, this is just absolutely amazing. I definitely grew up watching guys like Matt Tuck and Alexi Leo and Randy Rhoads and Roop Latvala. All these guys, they're all my heroes playing Flying V guitars, and not to mention Brett Hines. You know, like I've always wanted to play this same shape, and learning how to do it is just so incredible to finally be able to do that now as a 30-year-old man. I am learning. I don't know if this is common for all Flying V guitars, but the neck dive on these is pretty significant. So I guess that's why you see a lot of people playing them, like holding them very high like this. I do love that access that I have to these higher notes up here. There's absolutely nothing in my way when it comes to getting to those really high notes. thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming with me on this journey to building such an incredible instrument that I will be playing for many, many years. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Please tell me in the comments if you would like to see me sing. I'm going to tell you, I'm not the best singer, but I am working on it. And if you ever do get to come see us play live, I will definitely be doing a little bit of singing at that show. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.